There is a secret bedtime ritual that shocks the universe into aligning with your deepest desires. It is not complex, nor does it require elaborate tools. It is simple, direct, and charged with the energy of faith, imagination, and spoken word. Each night, just before the world slips into stillness, and you cross the threshold of sleep, you hold in your hands the key to the invisible forces that shape your destiny. As you lay down and close your eyes, you step into the workshop of creation. The outer world fades, the inner world becomes a vivid stage. This is the moment when impressions are etched upon the subconscious mind, which in turn directs the great currents of life. Most people let this moment slip away, filling it with idle worry or tired thoughts. But you can choose to command it. Begin by releasing every fear of the day. Speak softly, as if to the infinite itself. Every burden I carried today dissolves into divine order. Feel the weight lift. Imagine it leaving your body and melting into light. This clears the channel. Then, with calm certainty, state the truth you desire as though it already exists. Not pleading, not hoping, declaring. Because the universe does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to conviction and alignment. Whisper words of power that affirm your perfect outcome. Visualize doors swinging open with ease, debts dissolving, opportunities rushing in, health radiating, love flowing. Picture the life you wish to live as if it is already here. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts. And once accepted, the unseen law begins its silent work, rearranging people, circumstances, and timing to fulfill your declaration. This bedtime ritual is your sacred appointment with the unseen. It is not a time for worry, but a time for planting. The soil of your mind is richest in the moments before sleep. Plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and abundance. See them sprouting in the invisible fields of possibility. As you drift into slumber, know the seed is planted, and will grow without your anxious tending. The shocking power of this ritual lies in its consistency. Night after night, as you impress the mind with truth, it begins to radiate through your speech, your habits, your decisions. You wake feeling guided. People sense a shift in your presence. Doors open without force. Events unfold with uncanny timing. You realize that what seemed miraculous is simply law responding to your faith-filled command. The secret is not only in the words, but in the feeling behind the words. You must feel the reality of your declaration. Feel it as real as the sheets beneath your fingertips, as real as the night air in your lungs. This feeling is the magnetic force that draws the outer world into harmony with the inner decree. Each evening, surrender resentment, forgive everyone silently, forgive yourself, and then affirm what you desire with radiant expectancy. Gratitude seals the process. Give thanks in advance, as if your prayer is already answered. When gratitude precedes manifestation, you shift from seeking to receiving. In time, you will see this ritual's power so clearly that you will never again go to sleep without it. The universe is not shocked by your fear, but it is moved by your faith. Faith spoken with authority, just before sleep, carries the vibration of certainty into the deeper self, which in turn shocks the universe into rearranging itself for you. You said, "Please write a speech of this title. The secret bedtime ritual that shocks the universe." Speech must be Florence, Scovel, Shinn style, and don't mention him, ChatGPT said. Here's a speech draft in the mystical, affirming style you're asking for. Inspired by Florence Scovel Shinn's tone, but without mentioning her name. There is a secret bedtime ritual that shocks the universe into aligning with your deepest desires. It is not complex, nor does it require elaborate tools. It is simple, direct, and charged with the energy of faith, imagination, and spoken word. Each night, just before the world slips into stillness, and you cross the threshold of sleep, you hold in your hands the key to the invisible forces that shape your destiny. As you lay down and close your eyes, you step into the workshop of creation. The outer world fades, the inner world becomes a vivid stage. This is the moment when impressions are etched upon the subconscious mind, which in turn directs the great currents of life. Most people let this moment slip away, filling it with idle worry or tired thoughts. But you can choose to command it. Begin by releasing every fear of the day. Speak softly as if to the infinite itself. Every burden I carried today dissolves into divine order. Feel the weight lift. Imagine it leaving your body and melting into light. This clears the channel. Then, with calm certainty, state the truth you desire as though it already exists. Not pleading. Not hoping. Declaring. Because the universe does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to conviction and alignment. Whisper words of power that affirm your perfect outcome. Visualize doors swinging open with ease, debts dissolving, opportunities rushing in, health radiating, love flowing. Picture the life you wish to live as if it is already here. The subconscious does not argue, it accepts. And once accepted, the unseen law begins its silent work, rearranging people, circumstances, and timing to fulfill your declaration. This bedtime ritual is your sacred appointment with the unseen. It is not a time for worry, but a time for planting. The soil of your mind is richest in the moments before sleep. Plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and abundance. See them sprouting in the invisible fields of possibility. As you drift into slumber, know the seed is planted and will grow without your anxious tending. The shocking power of this ritual lies in its consistency. Night after night, as you impress the mind with truth, it begins to radiate through your speech, your habits, your decisions. You wake feeling guided. People sense a shift in your presence. Doors open without force. Events unfold with uncanny timing. You realize that what seemed miraculous is simply law responding to your faith-filled command. The secret is not only in the words, but in the feeling behind the words. You must feel the reality of your declaration. Feel it as real as the sheets beneath your fingertips, as real as the night air in your lungs. This feeling is the magnetic force that draws the outer world into harmony with the inner decree. Each evening, surrender resentment. Forgive everyone silently. Forgive yourself. And then affirm what you desire with radiant expectancy. Gratitude seals the process. Give thanks in advance, as if your prayer is already answered. When gratitude precedes manifestation, you shift from seeking to receiving. In time, you will see this ritual's power so clearly that you will never again go to sleep without it. The universe is not shocked by your fear, but it is moved by your faith. Faith spoken with authority, just before sleep, carries the vibration of certainty into the deeper self, which in turn shocks the universe into rearranging itself for you. Would you like me to make this longer, like a full 1,000-word keynote in the same style? I can do that next. You said give me 5 keynotes. Don't expand them, ChatGPT said. Here are 5 keynotes for the secret bedtime ritual that shocks the universe. In that style, release the worries and burdens of the day before sleep to clear the channel for manifestation. Declare your desired reality as already fulfilled, using calm, powerful words. Visualize vivid images of abundance, health, love, and success while feeling them as real. Practice forgiveness and gratitude to align your subconscious with higher order. Repeat the ritual consistently each night to impress the subconscious and activate universal law. You said keynote no. 1 expanded into 1,000 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any headings, ChatGPT said. When you release the worries and burdens of the day before sleep, you are performing one of the most transformative acts a human being can undertake, for the mind in its quiet state becomes like a clear lake reflecting the infinite. Throughout the day, impressions, conflicts, doubts, and small irritations accumulate in your consciousness, weaving threads of tension and fear that bind your creative power. If you carry these threads into sleep, they sink deeper into the subconscious and continue to weave patterns that appear in your waking life. But when you deliberately release them, you dissolve their hold and create space for something higher to take root. In the sacred stillness of the night, your spoken word and mental picture become potent seeds of destiny, because the conscious mind grows drowsy, and the subconscious stands receptive like fertile soil waiting to be planted. Begin by retreating inward and breathing deeply as you lie down. Let your body soften, your jaw unclench, your hands open as if releasing what they have clutched all day. Imagine that every thought that has troubled you is a small pebble in your palm. With each exhalation, drop a pebble into an endless stream of light, watching it sink and dissolve. Say softly, every burden I carried today dissolves into perfect order, and feel the truth of it. This is not wishful thinking, but an act of dominion over your own inner world. It signals to the subconscious that the page is clear, that only what you choose will be impressed upon it. As you breathe and release, notice the quiet that begins to grow. This quiet is not emptiness, but the presence of infinite possibility. Many people fill the moments before sleep with news, worry, scrolling, or mental rehearsals of fear. They fall asleep steeped in the vibration of lack and conflict, and then wonder why the next day mirrors the same energy. You can choose differently. You can choose to enter sleep as a sovereign creator, free of the heavy baggage of the day, open to receive guidance, wisdom, and fulfillment. This act of release becomes a magnet for clarity and solutions. For when the clutter is gone, the answers can come. Release also means forgiveness. The end of the day is the perfect time to release resentment toward others and yourself. Think of each person who crossed your path, especially those who may have triggered frustration or pain. Silently bless them, see them bathed in light, and affirm their highest good. Feel the cord of resentment melt. This is not weakness but power, for forgiveness liberates your creative energy and restores your inner balance. In forgiving, you do not condone the behavior. You simply refuse to let it rent space in your inner sanctuary. Each act of forgiveness before sleep wipes the slate clean so you awaken lighter, freer, and closer to the vibration of your desired reality. As you practice this nightly release, you will begin to sense the subtle shift in your own vibration. Your sleep becomes deeper, your dreams clearer, and your waking state calmer. This is because the subconscious, no longer burdened with yesterday's debris, begins to process and integrate higher truths. It receives your affirmations like fertile soil receives seeds. It begins to project onto the screen of your life events and encounters that match your elevated state. You may find people treating you differently, opportunities arising without effort, or unexpected gifts appearing. This is not chance but law. The universe responds not to your surface actions, but to the patterns impressed upon your inner self. Another way to deepen the release is to visualize your body surrounded by a sphere of soft, golden light. As you breathe, see this light expanding, dissolving tension, fear, or doubt. Imagine the events of the day as colored threads unspooling from your mind, being absorbed and transmuted by the light until only clarity remains. Whisper to yourself statements of release such as, "I let go of all that no longer serves me," or "Divine order now takes charge of my life," and allow the words to sink beyond thought into feeling. The feeling is the power. When the feeling of release becomes real in your body, the subconscious accepts it as truth. In this state, you are not only unburdening yourself, you are preparing the soil for your desires. A clear mind is magnetic. Just as a gardener removes weeds before planting new seeds, you remove the weeds of worry and resentment before planting the seeds of affirmation and vision. You are telling the universe, "I am ready, I am receptive, I am aligned with my highest good." The act of letting go itself is a signal of trust, for it means you believe there is a higher intelligence capable of arranging all things for your benefit. This trust is what activates the unseen forces on your behalf. The more you practice this bedtime release, the easier it becomes. At first your mind may resist, clinging to its worries as if they define you. But with gentle persistence, you will train it to yield, to relax, to trust. Over time you will find you no longer need to wrestle with thoughts. They drift away on their own as soon as you enter your ritual. You will develop a Pavlovian response, the moment you lie down and breathe deeply. Your entire being will know it is time to release. This automatic relaxation frees your energy and accelerates your manifestations. You may also notice an improvement in your health. Stress and tension lodged in the body dissolve. When you release them consciously each night, the nervous system shifts from fight or flight into rest and digest, allowing the body to repair and rejuvenate during sleep. This physical restoration complements the mental and spiritual work you are doing, creating a holistic transformation. You awaken not only mentally clear but physically refreshed, which in turn raises your vibration and attracts even more harmony. This practice of releasing the day before sleep is not an escape from life, but a preparation for greater living. It teaches you to distinguish between what is essential and what is transient, between the eternal truth of your being and the temporary fluctuations of circumstance. It places you back in the seat of power, reminding you that nothing outside you can control your inner state, unless you permit it. Each night you reclaim your authority, reset your energy, and re-establish your connection with the infinite. Ultimately, this nightly release becomes more than a practice, it becomes a way of being. You begin to carry the same detachment and clarity into your daytime hours. You handle challenges with more grace, because you know you will release them at night. You interact with people from a higher vibration because you no longer hold grudges or fears. Your creative power intensifies because your subconscious is no longer clogged with yesterday's impressions, but is continually refreshed and renewed. When you make this ritual a non-negotiable part of your bedtime, you align yourself with the rhythm of universal law. The law is always working, always responding, but your inner clutter can distort its flow. Releasing the day clears the channel, so the law can operate without obstruction. This is the hidden reason why so many mystics, creators, and successful people emphasize the power of the moments before sleep. They know that the state you enter at night determines the conditions you wake to in the morning. By releasing all burdens, you step into the timeless present, where all possibilities exist and where the seeds of tomorrow are planted with ease. To declare your desired reality as already fulfilled using calm and powerful words is to step into the very heart of creation, for the universe does not respond to vague hopes, but to the certainty of spoken truth. Each night, as you approach sleep, you enter a rare state where the conscious mind softens, and the subconscious stands open, like a fertile field ready for planting. In this state your declarations carry an authority they do not possess at any other time of day. When you speak of your desires as though they are already accomplished, you bypass doubt. You imprint your inner self, and you call forth from the invisible the patterns that must then appear in the visible. It is not a game of pretending, but an act of alignment with a higher order of reality that exists beyond time. Begin by quieting the chatter of your mind, until you feel the hush of the inner world. In that hush you become aware of the silent power breathing you, the invisible intelligence that governs stars, tides, and seasons. This same intelligence awaits your command, because it can only create through the channels you provide. When you speak with calm authority, you are not attempting to bend the universe to your will. You are synchronizing with the universe's own will for your highest good. Your words become decrees, and decrees cannot return void when they are spoken with conviction. Speak not of what you lack but of what already is in the unseen. Instead of saying, "I want more abundance," say, "Abundance flows to me now in perfect ways," and feel the truth of it vibrate in your chest. Instead of saying, "I hope for love," say, "I am loved, cherished, and surrounded by harmonious relationships," and feel the warmth of it already present. The subconscious does not discern between reality and vividly felt imagination. It simply accepts the impression and begins to orchestrate circumstances to match. This is why declarations spoken just before sleep are so powerful. The gatekeeper of the conscious mind is drowsy, and the seed of your word goes directly into the soil of the subconscious. Use simple, vivid statements that evoke a sense of completion. Speak them softly or silently, but always with feeling. The feeling is the magnetic charge that draws the unseen substance into form. Imagine yourself standing on a stage before an unseen audience of universal forces and angels, proclaiming what is already done. This image can help you shift from a begging energy to a commanding energy. When you command, you do so with humility but also with absolute assurance, for you know you are speaking from the divine center within you. As you declare, visualize scenes that match your statements. If you affirm abundance, see yourself opening envelopes of unexpected money or receiving joyful messages of financial blessing. If you affirm health, picture yourself moving freely, feeling vibrant, breathing deeply, radiating vitality. If you affirm love, see yourself embraced, supported, laughing with kindred souls. Make the scenes as real as you can, adding color, sound, and texture, but always hold the feeling of gratitude as if it is already yours. Gratitude acts as the seal upon the declaration, locking it into your subconscious as reality. Do not worry about how it will happen. The how belongs to the unseen forces, the great intelligence that knows all paths. Your task is only to declare, to feel, and to release. When you speak in this way, you are taking dominion over your inner world, and therefore over your outer world. You are no longer a beggar at the gates of life but a steward of infinite possibilities. This change in posture alone begins to shift your vibration, and the outer world cannot help but rearrange itself to match. If doubts arise as you declare, do not fight them. Simply return to the feeling of your words. Let the words wash over you like waves, replacing the old thought patterns with new. Repetition each night strengthens the impression, until it becomes natural to think and feel in alignment with your desire. This is how habits of mind are formed, and habits of mind create conditions in life. Night after night, your declarations carve new pathways in your subconscious, pathways that lead directly to the experiences you have affirmed. You may notice subtle changes at first. A new idea arrives, a chance meeting occurs, a door opens that was once closed. These are the first sprouts of your declarations breaking through the soil. Do not pull them up by doubting or questioning. Continue your declarations, watering them with gratitude and expectancy. The more you affirm, the more you teach your subconscious to expect and accept your desired reality as the only reality. Eventually, the inner state becomes so strong that it overrides any contrary appearances. This is the point at which manifestation accelerates, because the outer world is compelled to mirror the inner with increasing precision. One of the deepest secrets of this practice is that it reshapes not only your circumstances but your identity. As you declare your desires as already fulfilled, you begin to inhabit the self who has them. You speak as the prosperous one, the healthy one, the loved one, the successful one. This new self-concept is the key to lasting change, for the universe matches your identity even more faithfully than your words. When the identity shifts, the world must follow. Before sleep, when your body is still and your mind is soft, affirm the identity that matches your desire. Say to yourself, I am one with infinite supply. I am the embodiment of radiant health. I am love and expression. I am guided with perfect clarity. Speak these words not as distant possibilities but as present facts. Feel them in your muscles, in your breath, in the very rhythm of your heart. This is the creative act, the same act by which worlds are formed, the words spoken into the void. Pair your declarations with a mood of expectancy. Expectancy is not strain, but a quiet knowing that what you have spoken is already on its way from the invisible to the visible. This mood of expectancy draws invisible help, coincidences, and insights. It alerts your conscious mind to notice opportunities it would otherwise overlook. It inspires you to take aligned action when the time is right, but always without force or anxiety. You become a co-creator rather than a struggler. Consistency is the final key. One night of declarations plants a seed. Many nights grow a garden. Make your bedtime ritual a sacred appointment with your own destiny. Approach it with reverence but also with joy, knowing that each night you are shaping your future. As the ritual becomes habitual, the line between your declared reality and your outer reality blurs until they are one and the same. You will find that you naturally speak in affirmative, powerful ways throughout the day as well, because your subconscious has been trained to think and feel from the standpoint of fulfillment. In time you will look back and see how far you have come, how much your outer world has shifted to match the words you once spoke in the quiet of your room. You will realize that the power was always within you, waiting for your conscious direction. By declaring your desired reality as already fulfilled each night, you have become a deliberate creator, one who no longer leaves life to chance but shapes it with intention, faith, and the living word. To visualize vivid images of abundance, health, love, and success while feeling them as real is to tap the very mechanism by which the invisible becomes visible, because every condition first begins as an image impressed upon the inner mind. The subconscious mind moves according to pictures, symbols, and emotions. It does not argue. It does not question, it simply accepts and executes. When you deliberately present it with rich, detailed visions of the life you wish to experience, you are sending instructions to the creative forces of the universe. These forces, which are always active, then begin to arrange circumstances, opportunities, and relationships to fulfill the image you have consistently held. This is not imagination in the childish sense, but imagination as a tool of power, as the sculptor of reality. Begin your visualization by entering a state of deep relaxation, ideally as you prepare for sleep, or just after waking when the conscious mind is still quiet. Breathe slowly, allowing your body to become light and your mind still. Once you have reached this calm state, call up in your mind a single desire, and begin to build it into a picture. If you wish for abundance, do not think vaguely of more money, but imagine yourself in a specific scene where abundance is evident. Picture opening an envelope filled with good news, walking into a home you love, or looking at a bank balance that thrills you. Add sensory details. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the texture of the environment, because the subconscious loves detail. If health is your focus, imagine yourself moving easily and joyfully, your body strong and radiant. Visualize yourself taking part in activities you enjoy, feeling the sun on your skin, breathing deeply, feeling the pulse of vitality in every cell. If love is your desire, see yourself surrounded by harmony, embraced by affection, laughing with kindred spirits. Imagine the feeling of connection, the sound of loving words, the warmth of companionship. If success is your aim, picture yourself achieving your goal with grace. Standing on the other side of the accomplishment, receiving congratulations, feeling the satisfaction of mastery. The secret is not only in the clarity of the picture, but in the intensity of the feeling you attach to it. Feeling is the magnet. When you visualize, let your emotions rise as if you are living it now. Feel gratitude, joy, excitement, relief, and security as if your desire has already been fulfilled. This emotional charge imprints the subconscious more powerfully than words alone. You may even find your heart rate quickening, or your breath deepening as your nervous system begins to believe the reality of what you are picturing. This is exactly what you want, for once your nervous system believes, your actions and expectations will naturally shift to match, drawing the conditions to you. Do not worry if your images do not appear perfectly at first. Many people believe they cannot visualize because they do not see sharp pictures in their mind. Yet the subconscious responds equally to faint images, symbols, and especially to feelings. Even a gentle mental picture, combined with strong emotion, can move mountains. You can also use objects, music, or scents in your environment to evoke the mood of your desire, which further deepens the impression. The goal is not to strain, but to immerse yourself in the experience of already having what you want. Another powerful method is to step into the scene as though you are acting in a play. Rather than seeing yourself from the outside, see through your own eyes. Look down at your hands holding the keys to your new car. Feel your feet walking across the floor of your desired home. Hear the applause of an audience after your achievement. This first-person viewpoint makes the visualization more real to the subconscious. Combine this with affirmations spoken softly and you amplify the effect. For example, while picturing yourself healthy, say, "Every cell of my body radiates vitality," and feel it happening now. As you practice this each night, your subconscious begins to accept the new images as normal. It then sets about guiding you toward them, prompting ideas, nudging you toward certain people, arranging coincidences. These coincidences are not random, they are the outer echoes of your inner images. The more consistently you visualize, the more your outer world will mirror your inner vision, sometimes in ways that seem miraculous, but are simply the natural operation of universal law. Visualization also rewires your self-concept. When you see yourself as abundant, healthy, loved, and successful each night, you begin to inhabit that identity during the day. Your posture, tone of voice, and decision-making reflect the inner picture. You become more confident, more open, more attuned to opportunities. People respond to this new energy often without knowing why. Relationships improve, money flows, creative ideas spark. This is why athletes, performers, and creators of all kinds use visualization. It conditions the mind to expect and therefore create success. Be patient but persistent. At first, old images of lack or limitation may intrude. Simply return to your chosen image and feeling. Like training a muscle, repetition builds strength. Each time you visualize, you are chiseling away at the old patterns and carving a new blueprint in the subconscious. Over time, this new blueprint becomes dominant and expresses as your life. You may even notice your dreams at night beginning to echo your visualizations, a sign that your subconscious has accepted them deeply. Adding gratitude at the end of your visualization amplifies the power. Give thanks as though your desire is already fulfilled, feeling genuine appreciation for its presence in your life. Gratitude closes the gap between wanting and having. It signals to your subconscious and to the universe that you are already in the state of receiving. This state of receiving is magnetic. It draws the conditions faster because you have shifted from a vibration of lack to a vibration of abundance. Incorporate all your senses. If you are visual, focus on imagery. If you are more auditory, imagine the sounds associated with your desire. If you are kinesthetic, focus on the feeling in your body. The subconscious responds to all sensory input, and layering multiple senses makes the impression stronger. For instance, if visualizing a new home, smell the fresh paint. Hear the creak of the stairs, feel the coolness of the doorknob, see the sunlight streaming through the windows. These details tell your subconscious, this is real, and it acts accordingly. Make visualization a sacred appointment with yourself. Approach it with reverence but also with excitement, knowing you are participating in the same creative process that shapes worlds. Each session is like planting seeds in a garden. You do not dig them up to check their progress. You trust that unseen forces are at work. Your only task is to continue planting, watering, and nurturing through your nightly practice. Over time, you will notice that you begin to act, think, and feel from the perspective of the person who already lives your desired reality. Decisions that once felt difficult become obvious because you are guided by your inner vision. Opportunities arise that perfectly match your images. People appear who align with your goals. Challenges seem to resolve themselves or lead to unexpected blessings. All of this flows from the images you have consistently held and the feelings you have consistently felt. The practice of visualizing vivid images of abundance, health, love, and success while feeling them as real is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It harnesses the creative power of your imagination and directs it with intention. It conditions your subconscious to accept your desired reality as the only reality. It shifts your vibration so that you naturally attract and act in ways that fulfill your vision. It transforms your identity from someone who wants into someone who has, and as your identity transforms, so does your world. To practice forgiveness and gratitude, to align your subconscious with higher order, is to open the doors through which blessings flow. Because resentment and ingratitude act as invisible walls that block the natural current of good seeking to reach you. Each night before sleep is the perfect time to dissolve these walls. For the mind is softer and more impressionable, and your words and images sink deeply into the subconscious. Forgiveness is the act of releasing the energy of judgment and grievance. Gratitude is the act of amplifying the energy of abundance and appreciation. Together they reset your inner vibration, making you a clear channel for divine order, guidance, and fulfillment. This nightly practice transforms your consciousness, and as consciousness shifts, conditions must follow. Begin with forgiveness. Think of anyone who has troubled you during the day, from major betrayals to small irritations. Call them to mind one by one. As you do, see them bathed in light, their faces softening, their hearts open. Say inwardly, I release you and I bless you. Or, I forgive and I am forgiven. Or, I am free and you are free. Feel the cords of anger or hurt dissolving between you. This is not about approving of harmful behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying it. As long as resentment lingers, your subconscious treats it as a standing order to recreate conflict and limitation. When you forgive, you cancel that order. You reclaim the energy you had tied up in the grievance and return it to your own creative power. Forgive yourself as well. Many people are harsh toward themselves for perceived mistakes, delays, or shortcomings. This self-condemnation seeps into the subconscious and sabotages their efforts to create a better life. Before sleep, consciously forgive yourself. Say, I release myself from all errors, I am aligned with divine order, I accept my own worth. Feel a wave of compassion for yourself as you would for a dear friend. As you do, you heal the split within and become whole, which is the true meaning of holiness. This inner wholeness allows your subconscious to receive new instructions without interference from old shame or guilt. After forgiveness, Turn to gratitude. Gratitude lifts your vibration faster than almost anything else. Even in difficult circumstances, there is always something to appreciate. The breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the lessons learned, the strength gained. As you list these things, no matter how small, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift opens the door to more of what you are focusing on. The subconscious registers your gratitude as a signal of abundance and seeks to reinforce that abundance. Speak your gratitude softly as you prepare for sleep. Say, I am thankful for the guidance that led me today. I am grateful for the health in my body. I appreciate the people who support me. I give thanks for the unseen blessings already on their way. Feel the warmth of gratitude spreading through your chest, as if your heart is expanding to include the entire universe. Gratitude is not only an emotion, but a state of consciousness that aligns you with the flow of good. In this state, you become magnetic to solutions, opportunities, and harmonious experiences. Visualize your life as already filled with blessings. Picture your home aglow with warmth, your relationships harmonious, your work fulfilling, your body vibrant. Thank the unseen forces for arranging all this with perfect timing. Imagine a golden current of light moving through your life, connecting every person, event, and resource in divine order. As you do, you strengthen the impression of order and abundance in your subconscious. When you awaken, you will find your mind calmer and more focused, your intuition sharper, and your day unfolding with more ease. Forgiveness and gratitude also neutralize fear. Fear thrives on the illusion of separation and scarcity. Forgiveness restores unity. Gratitude affirms sufficiency. Together they dissolve fear's grip, allowing love and confidence to take its place. This change in emotional tone communicates directly to the subconscious, which then ceases to generate situations based on fear and begins to generate situations based on love and trust. Night after night of practicing forgiveness and gratitude rewires your emotional baseline, so that even during the day you find yourself responding with patience, optimism, and openness where before you might have reacted with anger or worry. As you continue this practice, you may notice relationships improving without any direct effort on your part. People you once found difficult may soften toward you, or you may feel guided to have healing conversations. Opportunities you once blocked by holding grudges may appear, because your energy is now clear. Money may flow more easily because gratitude and forgiveness have lifted the subconscious patterns of guilt or resentment about receiving. Health may improve because the tension of carrying old hurts has been released. All these changes are outward signs of the inward alignment you are creating nightly. Consistency deepens the effect. One night of forgiveness and gratitude feels good. Many nights build a new subconscious pattern. You are training your inner mind to see the world through the lens of blessing rather than burden. This new lens filters your experiences, draws to you people and circumstances that match your elevated state, and gently dissolves those that do not. You may find certain situations or relationships naturally fading away as your vibration shifts, making space for better ones to arrive. It can be powerful to write a few words of forgiveness and gratitude in a journal before bed. Writing engages another layer of the mind and reinforces the impression. You could list 3 people you forgive, 3 things you forgive yourself for, and 3 blessings you are grateful for. Over time, these lists become records of your transformation, showing you how your perspective and circumstances have changed. Reading them back can lift your spirits and strengthen your faith in the process. You can also combine forgiveness and gratitude with gentle breathing or light visualization. As you inhale, imagine breathing in golden light of gratitude. As you exhale, imagine releasing dark smoke of resentment. See your heart glowing brighter with each cycle, radiating light that touches everyone you forgive and everything you appreciate. This simple technique engages both body and imagination, anchoring the practice in your nervous system and making it easier to repeat. Remember that forgiveness and gratitude are not just mental exercises but vibrational shifts. You are moving from the frequency of resistance to the frequency of allowance. On the level of the subconscious, this means you are changing the instructions you have been giving to life. Instead of saying, "Bring me more struggle," Through resentment, you are saying, "Bring me more harmony." Through forgiveness, instead of saying, "I lack." Through complaint, you are saying, "I receive." Through gratitude, the universe, neutral and responsive, simply reflects back the vibration you offer. With practice, this nightly ritual becomes second nature. You may find yourself forgiving instantly during the day, or spontaneously giving thanks for small things without effort. This is a sign that your subconscious has fully absorbed the pattern. At this stage, you will notice greater synchronicity, faster manifestations, and a sense of being carried by a benevolent current. Forgiveness and gratitude will no longer feel like duties, but like natural expressions of your being. The true power of this practice lies in the way it reshapes your identity. As you forgive and give thanks each night, you begin to see yourself as someone who is already free, already blessed, already connected to higher order. This self-concept then dictates your expectations, and your expectations dictate your reality. You become a living magnet for peace, abundance, and joy because you have become peace, abundance, and joy in your inner world. Through forgiveness you make room. Through gratitude you fill the room, and the subconscious aligns with the higher pattern you have chosen. Repeating the ritual consistently each night to impress the subconscious and activate universal law is the master key that turns a single act into a transforming force, because the subconscious is molded by repetition and rhythm, rather than occasional bursts of effort. One night of focused intention plants a seed, but many nights of the same practice grow a garden so lush and inevitable that nothing can prevent its flowering. Consistency is the bridge between desire and manifestation, between vision and embodiment. Each time you engage in your nightly ritual, you are not only impressing your subconscious with new images and truths, you are strengthening neural pathways, deepening emotional grooves, and sending a steady signal to the unseen forces that govern life. This steady signal calls forth order, synchronicity, and opportunities with increasing speed and precision, because the universe responds most powerfully to clarity and persistence. Approach your ritual each night as a sacred appointment with your own destiny. As you lie down to sleep, you enter the borderland between the conscious and subconscious mind. In this twilight state, your impressions take root effortlessly. When you repeat the same ritual night after night, your subconscious begins to anticipate it, becoming more receptive, like soil already tilled and watered. The images, affirmations, and feelings you introduce sink deeper and take hold faster. Over time, the subconscious begins to run these new patterns automatically, generating behaviors, perceptions, and events aligned with your intentions without requiring conscious effort during the day. This consistency also builds trust within yourself. Each time you show up for your ritual, you are making a promise to your inner being and keeping it. This self-trust strengthens your sense of power and agency, which in turn feeds your belief in the process. Belief amplifies results. Many people dabble in manifestation techniques, trying them for a few days and then abandoning them. This inconsistency tells the subconscious that the new pattern is not important or true. But when you persist night after night, you signal to the subconscious that this is your reality now, and it adjusts accordingly. Repetition also smooths away resistance. At first, doubts may arise as you affirm or visualize your desired reality. Old beliefs may whisper that it's impossible or unrealistic, but with each repetition you overlay those old beliefs with new impressions. The subconscious eventually adopts the new impressions as its default, just as a path walked repeatedly becomes worn and easy to follow. The doubts lose their power not because you fought them, but because you starved them of attention and fed the new pattern instead. To deepen the impact of your nightly ritual, perform it at the same time and in the same place if possible. This conditions your nervous system and subconscious to associate that time and space with transformation, making it easier to drop into the desired state. Light a candle, play soft music, or use a scent that signals to your mind it's time for your practice. Over time, these sensory cues act as shortcuts, taking you quickly into the receptive state without effort. Consistency also magnifies subtle results into visible outcomes. At first, you may notice small shifts, a lighter mood, a surprising coincidence, a minor improvement in circumstances. Continue anyway. Each small shift is evidence of deeper work occurring beneath the surface. As the weeks pass, these small shifts accumulate, creating a tipping point where your outer life begins to change dramatically. What once required effort, or seemed impossible, now unfolds naturally. People appear who match your new vibration. Opportunities arrive without strain. Challenges dissolve or turn to your advantage. All this is the compound interest of your nightly consistency. Think of your subconscious as a vast field. Each night you plant seeds of thought, feeling, and image. Some seeds sprout quickly, others take longer. If you keep planting and watering, the field fills with your chosen crops. But if you plant one night and neglect the next, weeds of old habits creep back in. Consistency is the weeding, watering, and tending of your inner field. It is the invisible work that ensures your harvest. This is why the great spiritual teachers emphasize daily practice. They know that consciousness is not transformed by inspiration alone, but by steady application. Another benefit of repeating your ritual is that it strengthens your ability to enter the feeling of your desired reality more quickly and deeply. At first you may struggle to summon strong emotion or vivid imagery. But repetition trains your imagination just as exercise trains a muscle. Each night you become more skilled at feeling your desire as real, more adept at inhabiting the state of the wish fulfilled. This emotional mastery accelerates manifestation, because the subconscious responds most strongly to feelings. The momentum you build with nightly practice also extends into your waking hours. You begin to think and speak in alignment with your ritual during the day. You naturally make choices and take actions consistent with the reality you have been impressing upon yourself. This alignment of thought, feeling, and action creates a powerful coherence that draws matching experiences with magnetic force. Consistency thus bridges the gap between your nighttime practice and your daytime life, making manifestation a 24-hour process rather than a fleeting moment before bed. You may find it helpful to track your practice, noting each night you complete it and any insights or changes you experience. This record builds evidence for your conscious mind, reinforcing your commitment. When you see the cumulative effect of your practice laid out, it strengthens your faith and motivates you to continue. Faith itself is a creative force, and consistency feeds faith just as faith feeds consistency. There will be nights when you are tired or distracted, when the temptation arises to skip your ritual. These are the moments when your commitment matters most. Even a brief, heartfelt version of your practice will keep the momentum alive. It is the continuity, not the duration, that imprints the subconscious. Showing up for yourself every night, no matter what, signals to your inner mind and to the universe that you are serious about your transformation. This seriousness is not heavy but sacred. It is a declaration of your worthiness to receive. Over time, the ritual will cease to feel like something you do and become something you are. Your identity will shift from a person trying to manifest to a person who naturally lives in alignment with universal law. This identity shift is the deepest transformation of all, because once your self-concept changes, your reality follows automatically. You will find that you no longer need to push or strain. Your life begins to reflect your inner work as a natural outflow. Consistency also teaches patience and trust in the unseen. Each night you practice, you are surrendering to a process larger than your conscious mind. You are affirming that unseen forces are at work, even when you cannot yet see the results. This surrender strengthens your connection to intuition, making you more receptive to guidance and insight. You begin to notice subtle nudges, inner promptings, and signs that point you toward your desires. Acting on these promptings completes the circuit between inner intention and outer manifestation. In the rhythm of consistent practice you align yourself with the great rhythms of nature and the cosmos. The moon waxes and wanes, the tides ebb and flow, seasons turn, and the sun rises each day. Your nightly ritual becomes part of this cosmic rhythm, a personal cycle of planting and harvesting, inhaling and exhaling. This alignment itself carries power, because you are no longer acting sporadically, but harmonizing with universal order. Through nightly repetition you cultivate an inner sanctuary, a space of peace and certainty that nothing in the outer world can shake. You come to know that regardless of appearances, your inner work is shaping your outer experience. This knowing gives you confidence, resilience, and serenity. When challenges arise, you return to your ritual, using it to reaffirm your desired reality and release the temporary disturbance. In this way, your practice becomes both creative and protective, a shield and a magnet at once. Ultimately, repeating your ritual consistently each night to impress the subconscious and activate universal law turns the simple acts of affirmation, visualization, forgiveness, and gratitude into